Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be making a ring out of solid Bello Opal. This has been something I've wanted to do for a while now. Opal is such a fascinating and interesting material. It's just so colorful and it's insanely unique. There's literally nothing else like it. It just makes for some really great art pieces. Didn't know back a few years ago when I first started using Opal in my rings, you couldn't purchase these big slabs like this. The manufacturers that make these slabs, they sell them directly to jewelry manufacturers who take them and then they cut them into gemstones. And then from that point, I would have to buy those, crush them up in order to use them in my inlay rings. So really unnecessarily expensive bunch of middlemen and all of that. But now we're to the point where this has become a super popular thing. It's used in all sorts of rings and just other crafts. And we can just purchase these directly from the manufacturer, and we can also get just an insane variety of colors from them. So a lot of awesome, great things going on with Opal right now. I'm going to use my Patrick Adair Supplies diamond hole saws to cut through and cut out a ring blank for that. This should work amazingly on this Opal, whereas most other hole saws would really struggle to cut through that without cracking it or dulling or anything like that. Once I've got the blank cut out, I'm going to go ahead and throw it on a ring mandrel, and we'll begin the polishing and finishing steps. This should be a very simple ring. We'll probably keep the video short because of that. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, cutting out the blank is going to be fairly straightforward. I just need to securely clamp the chunk of Opal down to my drill press, and then I'll use my hole saws to cut out the blank. So I'll use the smaller hole saw first to cut out the inside diameter of the ring. Now I'll use the larger one to cut out the outside diameter. Now you'll notice I'm using water with the hole saw this whole time. That keeps everything cool as well as manages all of the dust. Now this is a pretty rough and uneven blank at this point, so I'm going to take it over to the belt sander and then just by hand, I'm going to even it up, get it to the width that I want, and make sure everything's ready to go for the next step. Now I'll throw it on an expanding ring mandrel. I'm going to get the diameter down to the exact size I need. This is important because it can affect the final look of the ring after I add the obsidian bevels to it. If it's too thick at this point, it's going to be tricky to add the bevels without being left with a ring that just looks a little bit. amazing. It's so fun to see in person, and video does a better job than pictures do, but even then you kind of got to see it in person to really appreciate all of the color shifting that's going on here. Depending on the angle you look at this ring, it can be more of like a dark maroon kind of reddish color. But if you look at it from another angle, it's almost a completely different story. Such an interesting and fun material to work with, and the results here are just incredible. I'm really happy we did this. So anyways, guys, we are going to have these for sale on the website. Also, if you're a ring maker and you're interested in any of the tools or equipment I used, we'll have a link to my supplies website as well. You can check all of that out, whether it's the diamond hole saws I used or Astrotech polish, all of that will be there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any feedback, let me know in the comments below. I'll be sure to read and reply to as many of those as I can. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.